The mysterious and deadly black holes in space are known to all, but only a few know about the black holes of this Earth. Well, not exactly the black holes, but the blue ones found in the oceans and seas that cover over 70% of this Earth. Just like the black ones, these too are deadly and can be called the ocean cemetery. And surprisingly, the blue holes are not the only holes in Earth waters. There are thousands of others that are mysterious to the scientists, even after all these years. Welcome to Techland. Join us as we discover how deadly are the ocean holes, what else lies deep down, and what secrets are scientists hoping to uncover. Some scientists say there is more information about the surface of Mars than there is about the bottom of our oceans, and no doubt they are right. Even the black holes in space were discovered way earlier than the ones in our oceans. You might have happened to see a sinkhole somewhere, and if not, you definitely have heard about the Kotara Depression, often called the world's largest sinkhole. It covers about 7,500 square miles of the desert in western Egypt. The sinkholes are cavities in the ground that form when water erodes on underlying rock layers. Sinkholes can be caused by both natural and human factors. They are common in land made of a soft underground rock layer, such as rock salt or limestone, since the rock layer is easily dissolved. This is about the sinkholes on land, and it's not the only place where you can happen to see them. Just like land, sinkholes are also found in the waters. An ocean sinkhole, or most commonly known as the blue hole, is a large marine sinkhole formed by coral reef and limestone that occurs near an island. An ocean sinkhole's opening is mostly formed on the surface and visible to the naked eye, but it can extend quite deep into the ocean, even exposing some submerged passages. The dark blue appearance of blue holes is due to the greater absorption of sunlight, which increases with the increasing depth. Within the walls of the blue holes, the water remains still, without any currents. Ocean sinkholes were first discovered toward the end of the 20th century by recreational divers and fishermen. After that, thousands of these blue holes have been discovered around the world. We get the land sinkholes, but how do they form in the oceans? The answer, as you expected, is that all blue holes were once land-based sinkholes that have since been filled with ocean water. Fresh marine or mixed seawater forms blue holes. The original sinkholes formed during past ice ages when ocean water became frozen, causing sea levels to drop 400 feet or 122 meters lower than they are now. The process can take more than 100,000 years. At the time, freshwater rain chewed through coastal limestone rock, forming caverns. Many of the openings collapsed and filled with salt water as the Earth warmed up again and the oceans rose. Sinkholes, whether blue holes or those that form on land, are usually the result of carbonate or limestone-based surfaces being in touch with water. Over time, the water dissolves the limestone, leading to the formation of the sinkhole. One of the deepest known blue holes, Dean's Hole in the Bahamas, plummets 663 feet or 202 meters, but most are roughly half as deep. In Florida, sitting about 20 miles off the coast, are 20 verified blue holes. These blue holes have attracted the scientists like their relative black holes and urged them to study more about them. So, recently, there's been a lot of interest in ocean sinkholes as scientists and explorers find more of them. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, began exploring a massive blue hole off the coast of Florida in August 2020. The blue hole, dubbed Green Banana, is larger and deeper than nearby blue holes, with a rim of 155 feet below sea level and a 425-foot deep bottom. The NOAA's Green Banana mission is a follow-up to the 2019 explorations. For the exploration, the team lowered a huge ladder, shaped like a triangular prism and weighed around 600 pounds, into the hole, along with the divers to collect samples. The subject of previous research was the Amberjack Hole, about 30 miles west of Sarasota. Analysis of water samples taken during Amberjack Hole exploration have revealed the presence of radium and radon isotopes in the water in Florida's blue holes. According to the chemistry, these holes are connected to groundwater, potentially connecting Florida's freshwater aquifer to the ocean. During another underwater survey conducted by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, or MBARI, up to 15,000 holes were discovered. These thousands of strange round holes scooping out of the ocean floor have been discovered along the California coast. Scientists are unsure how they formed, as some are nearly 600 feet across. The scientists were originally investigating mysterious large pockmarks across the seafloor off the coast of California's Big Sur region when they discovered these holes. These strange depressions, which average 574 feet across and 16 feet deep, are unexplained. However, the MBARI's underwater discovered 15,000 smaller holes, each measuring 36 feet in diameter and 3 feet in depth. As the black holes engulf things that come in its way, what do blue holes eat? Around 1/3 of the holes contain human waste, including filled trash bags, 5-gallon buckets, and a storage trunk. And 1/5 of the holes contain exotic material, including cobbles, kelp holdfasts, and even a whale skull. Many of these objects, according to experts, were thrown over the side of boats. What causes these holes to form in the first place is still unknown. According to researchers, the large pockmarks have been inactive for more than 50,000 years. Many of the smaller holes, on the other hand, appear to be much newer and may have formed in the last few years. With time, scientists came up with many theories about the formation of these holes. One of the ideas is that gases under the seafloor were bubbling up to cause the holes was dismissed early on. According to researchers, neither type of features had any evidence of fluid or gas venting. The idea that humans are inadvertently creating the holes with their waste is the best of all these theories so far. When something falls to the seafloor and sits there for a while, marine life may move in and make it their home. This may cause sediment to rise from the seabed and move away from the area, and it's this phenomenon that could be digging holes in the seafloor, potentially for very long periods of time in the case of the larger holes. However, this does not account for every single hole. In fact, it only accounts for about 1/3 of the strange formations. According to a research paper presented at the American Geophysical Union's fall meeting in 2019, these observations imply that marine trash is at least partly responsible for approximately 4,500 of the 15,000 holes and provide some clues as to how the holes are created. Today, oxygen is scarce in the dark depths of the blue holes, and sunlight is only available near the surface. The salty marine water in a blue hole is often capped by less dense fresh water, and the two types of water barely mix in the isolated body. Because of the conditions, blue holes are mostly isolated from the variety of life and food sources found elsewhere in the ocean. In these blue holes, rich ecosystems thrive in the inhospitable depths, including species of shrimp, aquatic mites, copepods, and other crustaceans. As the hole is scarce in food, these species feed on bacteria and other small forms of life, and animals up the food chain. Life in these blue holes has adapted to the low oxygen environment and is powered by the energy produced by bacteria that photosynthesize with sulfate rather than oxygen. Life in blue holes is being studied by scientists because it may provide a glimpse of what life was like on Earth millions of years ago when the oceans were anoxic. Scientific research into these blue holes could help us learn more about how life might exist on other planets. Microbial life has been discovered deep within the blue holes. Many of these bacteria were unknown to science at the time, as they were unable to identify the microorganisms through the use of known genetic libraries. but their mode of life and adaptation fascinated them. It's because they consumed sulfur and similar conditions could exist millions of miles away, perhaps beneath Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus's icy crusts, hence a possibility of life. As a result of these microbes, blue holes provide an ideal opportunity for archaeological research and also fascinate the divers. Looking so mesmerizing, the holes can be deadly. The blue hole in Dahab, Egypt is possibly the most dangerous location. Although there is no official count, it is estimated that 130 divers have died in the Dahab blue hole in the last 12 years. However, properly trained divers can get through the hole and admire the splendor inside. Would you like to dive into one of these blue holes? Let us know in the comments.